My sister Mackenzie, we were on our way to school, and she went down, and she was driving, of course, and she got a bite of her jelly biscuit. And whenever she did, she turned the wheel, and we went off into the ditch. And we hit a tree on the right-hand side.
My boy, he's actually the one that seen it first. You can see the dust stirring and all that. And got up there to him and just hopped out, seen something. Didn't what anybody normally do. I didn't do nothing, but, we just got out.
And then I woke up in, a lot of pain, and there was this dude, Mr. Raines, Josh Raines, sitting behind me, telling me that I don't need to move, I don't need to unbuckle, I just need to relax and just talk to him for a while.
All I done was I got up in there and held her hand till Courtney arrived. When he showed up, I thought the cavalry arrived, but apparently he was just going to work like we was.
Well, that morning, as we left our house, I usually have one certain way. I'm a creature of habit that I go the same way to work every time, and there's a stop sign down the road from us, about a quarter-mile from our house, and for whatever reason, when I got to that stop sign this morning, usually I go straight through, and I decided, well, I'm going to turn right this morning, which is onto Old Rome Dalton Road, which is where we're filming today, and actually on the road where Macee's house is. As I pulled up, found Macee at that time. Then as I went around the car, noticed that there was somebody in the driver's seat, and not knowing how many people were in the accident, didn't know if that person at the time was involved or if they were the driver, but then soon noticed it was Josh Raines, who I've known for many, many years, and he was actually there to help, and was a tremendous help. He was holding Macee up at the time because of the way the car was sitting. She was leaning, and he was giving her comfort by trying to hold her up.
I was terrified. I was scared that I was just going to drift off to sleep and not wake up. So I was really scared, and all I wanted more was to go to sleep.
I realized that she was starting to appeared to be getting sleepy, so she was starting to nod off and saying she was tired. So to try to keep her awake, I just started talking, and first thing that came to mind is, well, I got her name and what school do you go to, but
we sat there and he asked me what my name was, where I lived. He asked me how old I was. He asked me who my siblings were, how many siblings I had, who my parents were, where I went to church, and then he asked me what my favorite song was, and I said Amazing Grace.
I explained to her I couldn't sing real good, but I'd be willing to try and maybe hum a little bit, so I think I started saying the words, and then it just turned into a hum, and she sang a little bit, and Josh sang a little bit, and it was like the whole time we were calling out to him for help, because we knew at that point there was nothing we could do except comfort her and try to treat her the best we could.
If it wasn't for Josh Raines, Courtney Taylor, and the whole Gordon County EMS team, I probably would not be here today.
All I done was crawl up in there and hold her hand. That's basically all I done, and hold a little bit of weight up, And Courtney come in, and he's an awesome fella. He is. What they do, I totally respect everything they do. It's something.
The thing I think about that morning is Macee was stuck in a car and waiting on us to show up to help her, and she needed to be able to depend on us to help her. And I hope she was able to, and I hope that we were all able to do our job the best. But while she's in a car in one of the worst predicaments of her life, she was a rock and turned into that rock for me, for Josh, because it made our job so much easier just watching her. I mean, I sat there in amazement and just wondered, could I do the same thing? If both of my legs were broke, my arm was broke, could I still be singing Amazing Grace and praying and praising God for the situation I was in? I certainly hope so, and I think after that day that if faced with that type of situation, I'm a better person for meeting Macee that day.